I want to thank you all. I'm Ben Page, Parks and Recreation Director, for coming to our annual volunteer recognition ceremony. This is a ceremony meant to recognize different groups and individuals from last year, calendar year 2019. As you might guess, the Parks and Recreation Department requires it. We have to have volunteers to pull off our mission. We have over 75 parks, we have over 70 miles of trail, we have 3 golf courses, we have, you name it, we have something for everybody. And with that, we have 59 full-time employees. So you might guess that taking care of a park system this big takes a lot of volunteers, takes a lot of team effort. And before I jump into all that, I would like to have Callie, Jordan, and Rachel just come up to the middle for a second. They don't want to do this, so they're behind the scenes, but they'd all come up here just for a second. There's Callie. I would put this volunteer team up against anyone in the nation. This is top-notch, top-shelf, best volunteer department. Professional connection, guys, but they just do a wonderful job. I hear each and every time when we've ever had it, whether it's Wells Fargo, a cemetery project, a parks project, a youth sports. The thing that I hear back that's consistent every single time is we had the most professional experience. They took care of us. They had all the tools there. The waivers are all signed ahead of time. And they said, we're willing to come back because it's rewarding. It's beyond just giving back to our community. These 3 make it rewarding for us. So quickly, I'd like to thank these guys for all they do. They do such a wonderful job. So with that said, we're going to kick off. And if you've never been here or part of this, we have 7 different categories. Kelly will go through them. We'll stop at each one, we'll take a picture, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right? So up front,
and at the end, group photo.
At the end, yes, one big group photo. Thank you at the end. So without further ado, I'll start off.
Sure. Good evening, City Manager Scott Sanders, Mayor Cownie, council members, Chair Davis, members of the Parks and Recreation Board. I'm Callie Leal Courtright, Parks and Recreation Supervisor. Thank you all for your ongoing support and for joining us this evening for our 2019 Volunteer Awards. Each year we gather together to recognize our volunteers and their work throughout the city. 5,173 volunteers donated more than 32,000 hours of service to Parks and Recreation this year. Their service was valued at more than $815,000. Although our park planner, Colby Fangman, had never supervised volunteers prior to working here, he's been eager to learn and adapt. He quickly came up with ways to engage the public and encourage volunteerism. He's led multiple projects with volunteers, including a large playground build at Ashby Park. Fangman facilitated the capital side of the build, working with manufacturers and the volunteer team on planning the project. He created an organized construction process, even including color-coded toolkits and hard hats. Fangman helped train a new volunteer supervisor for the National Bicycle and Pedestrian Documentation Project, a volunteer data collection effort. He worked with the volunteer team to bring on a teacher extern this summer. The extern served hundreds of hours inventorying our parks facilities. He evaluates ways to improve and create efficiencies, resulting in well-thought-out volunteer projects. Fangman's creativity and pursuit to raise the bar for our volunteers shows every time. It keeps the volunteers safe, happy, and coming back. Helping present his award this evening is our Development and Planning Administrator, Jenny Richmond. Please join me in honoring Colby Fangman as our 2019 Volunteer Supervisor of the Year. Take 5 steps to the right.
And before we take a picture, I just want to I do want to quickly just introduce our special council guests here. So we have Josh Mandelbaum, City Council. We have our Mayor, Frank Cownie. Linda Westergaard, our newest council member, Carl Boss. City Manager, my boss. Make sure you can join this one. Bill Gray and Connie Wilson, all from our City Council and City Manager. Thank you for being here too.
Does he say something?
Yeah.
Anything
Thank
to
you,
say?
Colby. Jean Schooley has helped beautify the city for almost a decade. Each year, Jean spends time in our greenhouse transplanting spring flowers to prepare them to go out to neighborhoods. More than 250,000 annuals are grown thanks to people like Jean. Year after year, she's not only helped grow them, but then Jean spends countless hours in our parks helping plant them. Jean loves to support other volunteers too, and often can be found helping other volunteer groups in her neighborhood beautifying Walnut Trace. Our staff has enjoyed her support throughout the years. Between her neighborhood beautification and greenhouse service, she's responsible for over 1,200 hours of donated volunteer time. Helping present her award this evening is Kathy Hyatt, Parks Maintenance Worker. Please join me in honoring Jean Schooley for her ongoing service, making our community a better place to live and more beautiful.
Jean called my office to RSVP. She was not wanting to take this award because she said this is more than just her that does this. But let me tell you, behind the scenes, from the stories that I hear from our team for greenhouses, you're one of the real reasons the greenhouse operates as well as the best from a volunteer perspective. You're there a lot. Yep, they're there too, but
Someone in
we
that
can't do
chair.
without you.
Someone
First, wait, we got Chris Coleman here too. Where do you go? Hey, Mr. Coleman. Coleman. This is Chris Coleman is just retired as of December, but he was here all of last year, so I want him to be in our pictures as well. You're never really done yet, Chris.
Get the belts up. Yeah.
Squeeze together.
How much weight over there?
Tight, tight. As we all know, police officers have a very difficult and time-consuming job. Yet for the past 3 years, Officer Demario Dara has found time to serve as a volunteer coach for our youth flag football leagues. During this period, he has shown great passion and sportsmanship and has instilled these qualities in his players. They were happy to see him each week, and all of the kids hung around him before, during, and after games. This season, his team went undefeated, and they won the championship. Since becoming a police officer in 2015, Demario, an East High graduate and All-Stater, has volunteered to assist countless times as part of the Des Moines Police Department's community outreach programs. During his time as a football player for the Des Moines Blaze, Demario has also helped coach youth soccer and basketball and instructed at many youth football camps. As you can see here from the quotes, the parents on his teams were full of kind words, calling him impactful, fun, patient, motivational, positive, and prepared. Helping present his award this evening is Supervisor Tim Smith. Please join me in honoring him for his outstanding coaching and service to the city as the 2019 Volunteer Coach of the Year.
Before we take a picture, I wanted to say that that's Chief Winger's boss. That was nice of him to come out. Also, beyond Demario, which this is about Demario right now, is the fact that the police department is one of our best allies when it comes to department relationships we have. I can tell you, the police department behind the scenes don't get enough credit for all they do. They're at our community recreation centers, after school, on their own time, not being paid by the city to help out with kids. They're everywhere. So this is another great example of the police department giving back to our kids. Thank you.
Squeeze. Thank you.
I just want to say that the chief said you get a raise tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Sorry, technical difficulty. Jordan? Sorry, 1 second.
This is where George tells a joke again.
Well, want to thank everyone for coming. It's over.
Sorry, we're gonna have to skip this. Here we go. Watchman Communities was created to watch over humanity by supporting, protecting, and preserving life, and is led by outstanding community member Locust Nyo. Locust came to us passionate and determined to create a better world for future generations. He works to instill sound morals and character traits within the youth in our community. He created a litter-free movement, and in 2019, they adopted Prospect Park. Through Locust's hard work, he organized children and their families to care for the park throughout the year. They educated youth, marched through their community, and hosted multiple fun cleanups, donating 586 hours, valued at almost $15,000 in their first year. Their dedication to enhancing and beautifying the neighborhood is amazing. Watchman encourages people to take care of each other and our natural spaces. They exemplify our mission to help Des Moines live well, play hard, and protect the earth. We honor them for their organization, leadership, and positive presence in our parks. Helping present their award this evening is Field Coordinator Rachel Hainfield. Accepting the award tonight on behalf of Watchman Communities is Locust Nyo and Watchman Communities Youth. Please join me in honoring them as the 2019 Volunteer Group of the Year.
We'll have to get a wide lens for this one. Yes. Too low, too low, too low. If you've never been to Prospect Park, it's one of the larger parks. So I want to thank these folks for taking care of Prospect Park. It's been challenging at times, but these groups come in and they've made it a more safe environment for us as well as a more clean environment. So thanks to this group that are there. Hold it steady.
Chief got another promotion.
I'm not qualified to do this either.
Great. Where's the drum?
Just want to make sure it's a good one. All right, thank you.
I also wanted to mention, if you're doing the math, you know, we have 7 council members and they're all 6 here tonight. Councilmember Bill Gatto coaches a high school basketball team, so he's out coaching. He wanted to be here tonight, so he sends his regards and thanks to all the winners. So,
Sorry, we have to go backwards to go forward. Brooke Avila, Vice President of the Friends of Des Moines Parks, has served in many roles over the past 10 years, including Secretary and on the Board of Directors. Brooke has donated hundreds of hours promoting the Friends mission, advocating for more funding for parks and recreation services, and has attended countless events and activities in our parks. In Brooke's time on the Friends, the amount of funding given to the Des Moines Parks and Recreation has steadily grown in part thanks to her dedication and time volunteering. Her commitment to both the Friends and our parks has allowed countless kids to learn how to swim, support a construction of iconic facilities, and improve the overall quality of parks and trails in the city of Des Moines. We honor Brooke tonight for the significant impact she's had on our department and on our community. Please join me in honoring Brooke Avila as the 2019 Friend of the Year.
best thing about giving Brooke an award is she wouldn't take it if we made her not come here tonight. She's behind the scenes all the time. She does take no credit for anything. So if you've ever seen the Friends of Des Moines Park and where they started and where they've been, it's because of Brooke's organization skills behind the scenes. I know we have board members and friends behind us that would say the same thing. She's kept us organized. She's kept us the money coming in, which is the most important thing. But she's always there. You saw the picture. She's at all of our events, and then she's put a ton of hours in behind the scenes. That's what we guys are from.
Thank you.
You mom and dad should be up here too. Get up here.
Yeah.
Get up here.
Do you want to make a picture?
Absolutely.
Jen, Brooke, your shoes too.
Yeah, I'm writing something there too.
All right.
Wells Fargo has been a community leader for decades. They believe one of the most important contributions their team members make is using their professional knowledge, skills, and abilities to help organizations such as ours. Helping alongside us in cemeteries, hand cleaning and restoring our monuments, organizing cleanups in our parks and our gardens, pulling litter from our creeks and along our trails and our rivers, and so much more. Their volunteerism is year-round and touches every part of our department. This year, in addition to their in-kind support, Wells Fargo donated money to renovate George Whitmer Park in the heart of Des Moines. Through their philanthropy, they've strengthened our community and enhanced our quality of life. Their passion for our park system is unparalleled. Over the past 10 years, they've had more than 3,300 employees donate time with us. Their service is valued at more than $347,000. For the work they've done with us, they were chosen as the 2019 Iowa Parks and Recreation Association's Business Support Award winner. Accepting tonight's award on behalf of Wells Fargo are Micah Keel, Eric Idahan, Pat Green, Jason Smith, Elise Koistra-Sullivan, Jason Nelson, and Jeff Carpenter. Please join me in honoring Wells Fargo for the 5th time in 10 years as our 2019 Corporate Volunteer Group of the Year.
Pretty impressive. I wanted to say that one more time. The 5th time in 10 years that this group has won. So corporate volunteers for the year. Thank you, Wells Fargo.
Sorry about the. Got it to work.
Jenny, get in here. Jenny, get in here.
Too bad, Jenny. Mike Rowley has been an outstanding volunteer over the years, but in 2019, his service was beyond measure. Rowley chaired the Citizens Cemetery Advisory Committee and helped with the governor's own regiment flag retirement project, spearheaded Wreaths Across America efforts, including recruiting veterans, finding donors, working with musicians, volunteers, and more. He's worked hundreds of hours over the years supporting our cemeteries and protecting the history within them. Rally walks the cemetery almost daily and can be found at almost every cemetery volunteer event, from flag decoration to flag retirement. He spends countless hours supporting efforts such as the installation of the 1812 stones this year. He's a great leader, a voice for our cemeteries and our communities past. Helping present his award this evening is Cemetery Supervisor Ganesh Ganpat. Please join me as we honor Mike Rowley as the 2019 Volunteer of the Year.
I just want to say it's because of Mike's work that we've been able to really kick off a really important project at Woodland Cemetery. If you haven't been to Woodland Cemetery in a while, I urge you to go on a nice day, go for a walk now right now. And you'll see that there's a lot of monuments that have needed a lot of care. There's no longer family lineages left that take care of these stones. They cease to have families, or they do out and they just don't have the right or the wherewithal to do that. Mike has been taking personal tours to preserve that history, to engage excitement about private donations to come back and restore that cemetery. So without Mike, this whole big process doesn't start. So thank you.
Thank you. Recreation has played a huge part in George Davis's entire life. His passion led to a long career teaching and coaching youth full-time. Somehow, he still found time to also work part-time in Parks and Recreation and umpire too. His first job with us was putting on t-ball clinics, working on fundamentals of hitting with 6 to 8 year olds. George himself played in the South Des Moines Little League and remembered once he saw a sign with advice that stuck with him: "A kid in sports stays out of courts." And for more than 50 years, he's helped do just that, supporting recreation, coaching, leading, and serving. Softball, basketball, football, volleyball, track, East High, North High, Tech, and more, you name it, he's done it. Knowing George's larger-than-life personality, it should come as no surprise that he is well-loved. Inducted into the Iowa Softball Hall of Fame, honored in the North High Athletic Wall of Fame, named Conference Track Coach of the Year, winning Sporting Good Manufacturers Association Heroes Award, the list of accolades goes on. And for many of the same reasons we honor him tonight, parents, athletes, and coworkers use words like love, respect, excellence, leadership, a caring person, hardworking to describe George Davis. We should add to those words humble and team player. Because with each award, George always thanked his assistants and his athletes, making sure they understood how the honor was theirs and not his. Making sure that they understood he was there to support them and to teach them. George told his wife many times that he has gotten much more from those he coached in his life than he could ever give back. George once described coaching as an extension of yourself. Coaching was not just about athletics, but also teaching about life. If his students had walked away only knowing basketball or track or softball, he had failed. But if they learned that academics was just as important as athletics, that learning and loving each other was more important than winning, then he had succeeded. And to this day, George's personality reflects this as he spends his time giving back to his community, spreading joy and sharing his humor in all that he does. George Davis also described himself as lucky, working with some of the best coaches and athletes out there. And that's how we would describe getting to work with him: lucky and honored. Lucky and honored that he chose us to donate hundreds of hours to. Lucky and honored that he shares his passion for Parks and Recreation with us and with our community. Lucky that he agreed to step up and volunteer as a leader on our board and in his neighborhood. His passion and skills have translated well into retirement and have helped him develop one of the most active neighborhoods in the city. He's invigorated our board and increased involvement, especially in our subcommittees, as many of you know. He is a key supporter of our parks. And there isn't a meeting, a dedication, a ribbon cutting, a litter cleanup, or any community event that George Davis can't be found at. George Davis continues to demonstrate exemplary leadership in the field of parks and recreation. And tonight, we recognize his lifetime of service to our community. It has been our privilege to work with him through the years. Please join me in honoring George Davis as our 2019 Volunteer Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
You guys humbled me, that's for sure. I will say this, that this award belongs to a lot of people, starting with my family, who's always been there, and always make me show my good side. And I will tell you, do we not live in a great city? And I'm just happy to be part of it. A lot of friends around the country, and we talked about different problems in the city and stuff. And they said, well, what's some of the major problems you have? And I said, well, potholes. That's, I mean, if you put everything in perspective, that's our biggest problem. I mean, we have a great council. Ben, tremendous. Kelly, thank you. That was tremendous.
You're welcome.
It's not good to get older guys emotional.
Thank you, George, for everything you do.
I appreciate it.
Before we get this picture here, I just want to let everybody know, and I don't need a whole lot of microphones. George and I have been personal friends for over 45 years. The first time we met, we were playing softball, and we had a call that didn't go our way. George come out of the stands, kicked me out of the game. Started a great friendship that's never stopped. What you have done is phenomenal throughout the city. And I don't believe I've ever seen you get verklempt, but you're just trying to.
What's that mean?
You're cheering up, man. But what George has done for this city cannot be duplicated by anybody else. This award is just a small token of all you've done, George. I can't tell you how much we all sitting here appreciate, and your family. Look at this. I mean, this is fantastic. Everything that you've done has been for the good of the city of Des Moines. So this is just a small token. What you've done, keep it going.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks, everybody.
I'll tell you this, there's a George Davis that not many of you get to see. If you saw George when he was still working for us, you'd see a George Davis was one of the most compassionate men I've ever met. I've personally seen him give people rides to services they couldn't get to, that needed to get to. I've seen him write his own checks, pull his cash out of his wallet to make sure this kid at 4 Mile, this kid at Pioneer Columbus got to eat that night. I've seen him make phone calls to make sure people were taken care of. Beyond what he did for Parks and Recreation, this is one of the most compassionate men I've ever worked with. I want to tell you thanks as a friend, as a leader, and we are honored tonight to give you this award. And so thank you on behalf of this board, which we also have one of the greatest boards in the city. I'll brag right now, the Park and Recreation Board. We would be here down the middle. I know you guys all want to take a picture of this, but let George's family, which is a lot, come up and take a picture of George. And then we have a quick 2-minute video to play, and we'll let you go have some more cookies, all right? So quickly, we'll take this picture of Councilman George, and then the next is the film.
No. He's nothing if you're not here.
Come on, Sandy.
Come on.
Get your wife in this picture, yes.
This is my trophy wife of 52 years.
Well, here, let's just get Sandy this first picture, then we'll get the rest of the family in the big pictures. Fit them all in here. We're gonna have Sandy first, and then we'll get you guys in the next picture.
Yeah.
that good
Get
at
up,
Photoshop.
buddy. We're going by height.
Okay.
Let's get Georgia Scanlon here, Georgia. Also, let's look at the other picture, let Georgia Scanlon. Come on.
I'll tell you, I'm very lucky. I have 5 grandkids, and they all live within 4 blocks of me. How lucky is that? And then last time my son, well, these are my 3 children, but my son flew in from Washington, D.C., and I said, my goodness, what are you here for? I get an award tomorrow. And he said, well, why do you think I do? Where's Jody? Come on up, Jody.
Everybody? Look up here.
Oh, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, George. After the video.
I got you. She's all along with the same letter.
Oh, you can keep going, it's okay. Chair Davis, members of the Parks and Recreation Board, thank you for your continued support and your volunteer service to our city and department. And thank you to Director Page and all of our Parks and Recreation staff for their incredible help supporting our volunteers throughout the year and welcoming them into everything that we basically do. A big thank you to my volunteer team, Rachel and Jordan. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Once again, thank you to all our award winners and all of our volunteers that have served our city. As Director Page mentioned, we'll leave you tonight with the highlights from the past year, and we look forward to an amazing 2020. If everybody could come up for the group photo.
Group photo, all
quick,
the
and then we'll
award
take a
winners
break.
just by themselves, or if you're a group, bring your group up, and we will take a quick picture, and then you guys can finish off those cookies for us.
Are you enjoying a little more time, free time to yourself?
I'd like to have you guys come down. Come on down. I'd like to have
I know.
No, with you, George. No. Let's get it. Board winners,
Not
you know what you
enough
do.
flat space to get all of us in there plus all them.
Absolutely. For time. No, no, no.
Scooch, every other row.
Phyllis, you want us to go over some?
Turn to the middle and squeeze in. Turn it in.
You know what? You want to stand right here.
Is it tight enough? Find a window.
You were on the train for
I know if I think if I move this lever, it's gonna be able to drop it down, and I can drop it down lower, and I don't torque it again lower.
No, it's not that comfortable.
Gonna switch?
It just looks
Gonna
good. It
switch?
looks good.
Thanks for coming, Carl.
I'll be there. No. But I leave, because I chair that when I leave here at like 10 after 6.
Park board, if you could come down for a photo, please. Park board. Calling park board volunteers.
Coming.
Follow directions. They want a photo picture taken.
I don't want my.
Yes, because you're all volunteers.
Well, now, hey guys, just for tonight, many people think you listen to them.
We're not that good at actors and actresses.
I know.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm done on there.
Hey, Jen. All right, forward.
Jen, get in there.